Hello everyone, my name is Fikayo Adeyinka. I had an encounter with Jesus yesterday. He appeared to me and the first thing he said was, everything I'm going to show you, reveal or release on social media. And initially I was surprised because that was the first time I was ever saying that. I know when Jesus mentioned social media, for a moment I just realized, hey, Jesus owns everything. So he's really particular about what happens on social media. So I'm going to be sharing everything he told me, and he specifically told me, do not fine-tune or doctor or remove any part. And I agreed. So I'm going to be saying it raw. I've shared a couple of these videos on my Instagram handle, but this is a full video so that we could all watch, and every one of us, including myself, we are all in the process, all in this walk, this move that Jesus is trying to do in the body of Christ. So this message is not targeted at any denomination or any particular church or any person. Jesus wasn't particular about any church. He didn't mention any church. And the churches we went to, I don't even know what body or what denomination those churches are. I guess we're just trying to paint a picture of what the body of Christ is at the moment, and the things he is not pleased with, and the things he wants us to quickly work on. So there were two encounters, and it started around 6 a.m. yesterday morning, the 12th of June 2018. So Jesus appeared and he said, everything I'm going to tell you, reveal on social media. And immediately we were transported and we found ourselves in a church service. The service was going on. The man of God, I saw the man of God in front. But guess what? Nobody noticed that Jesus had come into the service. People did not even notice. Even the man of God didn't notice that Jesus was around. There was so much noise. People were loitering, roaming around, talking, above their shoulders, smiling at each other. And Jesus tapped me and said, Fikayo, he said, there's so much disorganization and distraction in my body. Even at services, can you see what is happening here? And he said, he compared what was happening there to our corporate world, to the corporate world. He said, do you know that people can do this in their offices and in their meetings? That means, in our meetings, and I can recall that even when in our meetings, you dare not talk, you are fully there, spirit, soul and body, you're trying to listen, so he was pained. I could see his pain. And guess what? Even after he said so, nobody noticed that he was there. People were just having fun. Then, people they were not concerned about the man of God there. And that was, to him, that was disrespect and disregard for the authorities, for our pastors, and the people God has placed over us. So there is need for we believers. Remember, this is for the body of Christ. It's for every Christian, it's for every believer, every one of us. We need to sit down and check these things that Jesus pointed out to me yesterday. He didn't say they were rude to the pastors. He said, they don't regard me. That's what his specific word. They don't regard me, Fikayo. But I know he was referring to the man of God speaking, because he placed the pastors and our authorities over us. While we were getting out of that particular scene, he was walking, he just turned, and there was a guy chewing gum. Honestly, I am guilty. I also chew gum in church once in a while. I did not know that Jesus, he really. So, he saw a guy chewing gum and he said, Fikayo, he's chewing gum. He's chewing gum in my church. The guy didn't stop, he didn't even know. And he walked away. And I could see in his face, I could see in his eyes disappointment. And I could read what was happening in the atmosphere, or I realized I was trying to say that if you are to speak to your bosses, if you are to stand in front of dignitaries, you won't chew gum. If the president calls for any of us and we're right in front of the president, we would not chew gum. So how come in the house of God, while the message is gone, while the presence of the Lord is supposed to be, filling us up, most times we chew gum? Jesus is not pleased with chewing gum in church. We all have to look into this. So while we were trying to get out of that scene, he took me to the back. We went to the back of the church, of the auditorium of the service. Nobody still noticed that we're around. And at the back row, people were seated. And he told me, Fikayo, can you see what is happening? And I looked closely. I saw that the people at the back row were actually touching themselves, fondling with their, permit me to use this word, private parts, their genitals, and they were looking, their eyes were focused on the man of God. You would think they were listening, but they weren't there. They were engrossed in lust. They were totally consumed by what was happening, what they were doing. And, immediately I was lifted up and I found myself in their midst. And I was shocked, and I joined them. So everybody was touching each other, including myself. And I was like, Jesus, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't do this. I don't do this. Jesus, no, I don't know why I'm here. And he said, Fikayo, hold on. I put you there because I need you to feel the pleasure. And he told me, can you feel the pleasure? And I actually, I felt the pleasure. And he said, that is the pleasure of sin that has consumed the church. There is no more, nobody is scared anymore. Nobody is afraid. Can you see what they are doing in my service? And trust me, they did not stop. They didn't even know that Jesus was standing right in front of them, seeing everything they were doing. They kept on going and they were smiling and they were actually groaning. I'm married, so I know what this is like. So they were groaning in pleasure. And Jesus was so consumed with love and he was just looking. And he told me, Fikayo, look up. And I looked up and I saw that the man of God, the pastor that was preaching, was still preaching. As he was preaching, he was moving towards the back. He was moving towards the back. He was still preaching, the service was going on. All of a sudden, he joined them. And he joined the league. The things that were happening, they were touching, kissing, all sorts of things, atrocities going on there. They were totally doing things that was displeasing to Jesus. And the man of God, the pastor, joined him. And guess what? He still held the mic. He was preaching. He did not correct. He did not rebuke. He did not do any. He didn't discipline them. He joined them. And Jesus said, he said, Fikayo. He was in so much pain when the pastor joined. And he said, Fikayo, he said, can you see that the pastors, the shepherds, the authority that I've placed over my people, they have joined in the sin and they are not correcting. They are part of the sin happening. I knew Jesus was talking about sex sin. I knew he was talking about fornication and adultery. I knew he was talking about that. And he said, can you see? He has joined them. He's not correcting them. He's not rebuking them. Rather, he's part of this. And Jesus was quiet. But they didn't stop. He went on. I want to encourage everyone. A believer, you're a worker, you're a pastor. God is doing a cleansing. We've come to the end time. And I could see haste. I could see urgency. And that was why I released some of the videos yesterday. He wanted me to talk about it immediately. I was telling him in my thoughts, because we were speaking to each other in thoughts. In my thoughts, I told him, Jesus, by Sunday we will change. We will work on all these things. He said, no, I can't wait till Sunday. I need a change now. You release these videos today. And that went on. At some point again, there was a lady sitting down. I don't know what happened to her. She was sitting on a plastic chair. As she sat down, the chair, it fell and the chair got broken into pieces. And Jesus tapped me again. He said, Fikayo, can you see that? I said, yes. He said, I am not annoyed that the chair got broken because it was an accident. But do you know that you believers, you're more careful with your personal possessions and property, your cars, your personal items and other things, much more than you're concerned about my own things, my property, the things in the house of God, and etc. You guys, you're nonchalant about my own things, but you take care of your things much more. And I know he's referring to, a lot of things happen. At times you could see wrappers of biscuits or sweets littering around and etc. So I guess he was referring to how we treat the house of God and the sensitivity we need to introduce while we're in the house of God. While we're doing that, the children, when they started running around and we're having fun and they were just children. But Jesus tapped me and said, Fikayo, do you see that? I said, yes. He said, those are children, but you can begin to teach even the children from their tender ages what being in the house of God is about. You need to begin to tell them what my presence is about, so that by the time they grow up, their generation will be different. That their children doesn't mean they mustn't be orderly or well taken care of or well trained and groomed about the presence. They need to be conscious. We need to start teaching our children they need to be conscious about the presence of God, even from how little they are. I could feel Jesus' emotions. This time Jesus didn't cry. His emotion was a mix of, he was consumed with love for us. I could still see love. He was desperate. He needed a change. There was urgency in his voice, in his movement and all. But I could see that he was tired. He was pained. He was disappointed. But yet, he loves us so much. While he said all that, and he turned. He looked at me one more time. I said, Fikayo, everything I've shown you today, release on social media. Do you know what happened next? So Jesus turned to go. I started jumping. I was excited. Wow! It was a reflex action. I don't know why I was doing that myself. I was jumping. I was excited. He was already going. Do you know what he did? He just turned back and caught me in the act. And I stopped jumping. And he said, even you. He looked into my eyes and said, even you. He said, even you. Fikayo. He said, you see, you are excited that I just gave you content for social media. You're not too bothered about the message to the people. At that point, he opened my heart and he showed me inside my heart, and he showed me the contents and the thoughts in my heart, and I was disappointed myself. Jesus didn't just speak and he left. He dealt with me too. And guess what? He said I must talk about it. He must say everything. Since yesterday, I've not been myself. We need to change. Every one of us, including me. Because remember, he showed me my heart. But it got me thinking. It got me doing an evaluation of myself. Most times we think we are okay, but Jesus might have a different opinion about us. So for me, I'm doing my evaluation. But I think probably we all need to. Maybe you also need to do an evaluation of yourself. What he was saying by saying that I just gave you content, I could pick, it's not everything he says. There are some things I read from his thoughts. He was trying to say, for everything we do on social media, if you're a believer, if you're a minister, if you're a pastor, if you're a representative of Jesus, you have to be careful on social media. Everything we do, social media belongs to Jesus. Because he mentioned it. When he said social media, I was like, social media? Jesus mentioned social media. Okay, he owns social media, but actually he mentioned it. So I realized that he was trying to tell us that most times we are concerned about posting. Let me post. Maybe most of us want to accumulate. I've done like 5,000 posts in this month. Most of us, we need to be sure that we are not competing amongst ourselves, even as believers. I sent out the best graphics. I have the highest number of followers. It's not about followers. If anything we're doing on social media, if you're a believer, if you're a Christian, if you're a minister, if you're a pastor, whatever we're doing, if it's not bringing glory to Jesus, if it's not about soul winning, if it's not about kingdom, then we have missed it. Because social media has caused a lot of distraction even in the body of Christ. And for everyone who is probably saying anything wrong about Jesus on social media, you need to stop, because Jesus is monitoring social media. He mentioned social media. We need to check why we are on social media and what we are doing on social media. He's pained about the atrocities happening in the house of God, but he's ready. He wants to do something in our lives. He loves us. We just need to make a new decision. We need to rededicate ourselves. We need to come back again to Jesus. If you're a pastor, if you're struggling with all these same things, if you are a deacon, if you are a worker and you need help, please seek help. Jesus needs us to seek help. He needs us to take necessary action. Thank you for watching. This is the first part